All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Math is easy, step by step. In this part 58 video, we're going to continue with another example of adding fractions in decimal form. So we have 3/7 plus 12/13. Every fraction is a division problem. 3 divided by 7, 12 divided by 13. First thing you want to do is step 1. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You want to convert each of these fractions into a decimal, right? 3 divided by 7. All right, so you can see here 3 divisor bar 7. To the right of the ones place, the 3, we have an invisible decimal. Show that decimal. Raise it above the divisor bar. Add as many zeros as you need in order to complete this specific task. Then the first question you want to ask yourself is 7 times what number gets me 3? Well, no whole number times 7 will give me 3. So then I move on to the digit to the right of 3, and I'll make this 3 a 30. My new target is 30. 7 times what number gets me closest to 30? And once you find that number, give it a try. I want you to give this a try yourself. 7 times what number gets me 30? What am I going to do with the product of 7 times that number compared to the 30? What will I do? Well, let me show you. All right, you're absolutely correct. 7 times 4 gets me closest to 30. 7 times 4 is 20. I'm going to subtract that 28 from 30. It gives me a remainder of 2. Now I'm going to bring down the 0. Now I have another target. So 7 times what number gets me closest to 20 without going over? I know 7 times 3 would be 21. And 21 is larger than 20, so that will not work. What about 7 times 2? What is the product of 7 times 2, and what are you going to do with that product? You're absolutely right. I knew you can do it. 7 times 2 is 14. So I subtract the 14 from the target of 20. 20 minus 14 gives me 6. I bring down my 0 value. That turns the 6 into a 60. Now I ask myself another question. 7 times what number gets me closest to 60 without going over? Well, let's see. Let's start with something easy. 7 times 5. 7 times 5 is 35. Not close to 60 yet. 7 times 7 is what? 49? I'm a little closer. Let's see. 7 times 8 would give me 56. So 7 times 9 would give me 63. 63 is too large. So what about 7 times 8? And what am I going to do with that? All right, right on, right on. So 7 times 8 is 56. I'm going to subtract 56 from my target of 60. That leaves me a 4. I'm going to bring down my 0, and my new target is 40. Now, as you can see, I've run out of room here on my paper. I didn't plan ahead very well. So I'm going to bring up that value of 40. I'm going to subtract it by the next multiple of 7 that gets me closest to 40 without going over. I know 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 6, is 42. 42 is too large. So 7 times 5 is 35. I'm going to use that and subtract 35 from 40. All right, so you can see here 7 times 5 gets me 35. I'm going to subtract 35 from my target of 40. That gives me a 5. I'm going to bring down this 0 all the way over here. It turns that 5 into a 50. So I know 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 7 is 49. What are you going to do with that value? All right, so 7 times 7, 7 times 7 is 49. Subtract 49 from our target of 50. It leaves me 1. And let's say there's another 0 here. You can keep bringing these zeros down. Now you got 10. And this value can go on and on and on and on and on. But just for time's sake, I think I'm going to stop here with my last multiple of 7. So you could say that 3/7 in decimal form is 0.42857. All right, so our second fraction was 12/13, or 12 divided by 13, 12 divisor bar 13, and then you see here it's all set up for you. I'm showing you the invisible decimal. So there's a decimal to the right of the ones place there, to the right of the 2. I'm showing you that decimal. You're going to want to do something kind of special with that decimal, right? And then to the right are 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Your first question is 13 times what number gets me closest to 12? Well, there's no whole number that will do that. So let's add a 0. 120 is the new target. 13 times what number gets me closest to 120? And I don't know off the top of my head. Let's do something called guess and check. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so this method's called guess and check. So many times on assessments and exams, you're not allowed a calculator and you got to do this manually. So 13 times what number gets me 120? So 120 looks pretty close to 13 times 10, which is 130. But it's about 10 too much. So in this guess and check, maybe I'll try 13 times 9. All right, so this guess and check, I'm using 13 times 9. 9 times 3 is 27. I put the 7 there. I carry my 2. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 2 more is 11. So 13 times 9 is 117. Is 117 larger than 120? No, it's just right. So I'm going to use the multiple of 9. 3 times 9 gets me closest to 120. Without going over. What are you going to do with this value of 117? You're absolutely correct. You're going to subtract that 117 from 120. So 120 minus 117 is 3. Bring down my 0. I got my new target of 30. I know 13 plus 13 is 26. And if I added another 13, that would be 39. 39 is larger than 30, so 13 times 2 gets me closest to 30 without going over. Okay, so 13 times what number gets me closest to my new target of 40, right? And so 30 minus 26 leaves me a 4. I bring down the 0. I got my new target of 40. So 13 times 3 is what? Is that my new target? 39? 13 times 3 is... So 39, right? 13 times 3 is 39. I subtract 39 from my target of 40, and I get a 1. I'm going to bring down my 0. I have 1 and 0, and that is 10. That's not enough. There's no number times 13 that will give me 10. So I'm going to put a 0 right up in here, and let me show you what I'm going to do next. Okay, so there's no number times 13. I put a 0 up here. There's no number times 13 that gets me 10. So what I can do now is I can bring down my 0 after I put a 0 above the divisor bar. Now my new target is 100. So 13 times what number gets me closest to 100? Okay, I want to show you how I'm taking the 100. I ran out of space again, and I'm bringing it up here. 100 minus what value of 13 times what number gets me closest to 100 without going over. So I did a little more guess and checking. 13 times 8 is 104. 13 times 7 is 91. 91 is less than 100. 104 is larger than 100, so that won't work. 7. 13 times 7 will give me 91. All right, so I'm showing you now 13 times 7 gets me closest to 100 without going over. 13 times 7 is 91. 100 minus 91 leaves me a remainder of 9. So 12/13 in decimal form is 0.92307. I'm going to stop right there. This concludes part 58 video, part A of adding these two fractions as decimal. Join me for part 59B, where we'll be adding these decimal values together. Math is easy. Take it step by step. Thank you for joining me. If I have helped you, please help me to help others. Thank you for your time.